My loves, how are you? Welcome to day 14 of the Higher Self series. And if you're here watching with me at the time of this, happy Valentine's Day. So, I was curious what was going to come through today, and it's been this process of being guided to bring in some messages around helping to dissolve any blocks to love that we may have. And this came about obviously because it's the day of love. But also, I've been seeing a recent large amount of comments asking what to do if your counterpart or yourself or both of you are actually in other relationships and or how to handle or work with these energies. I know that each situation is very unique and there are always lessons within whatever circumstances we find ourselves in. So if those types of things are present, it is because there are lessons available for you and your counterpart to partake in. Okay. So, um, also at the same time, it is somewhat of a representation of the cloudiness or the energy that's in between you and your full connection to experiencing that love on in your life in the physical world. And or it could be because there is other things for you to partake in and learn from. Okay, so we're not going to judge the circumstances, but I also encourage each of you to use it as an opportunity to dive deeper into unconditionally loving yourself and refocusing the energy back to you, and also noticing what that third party or karmic or other partnership energy may be bringing up for you, because that's an opportunity for you to learn as well. Okay. So, I found that releasing resistance to any of those external energies um, can be equally helpful as we're unraveling the resistance within ourself. And I just want to see what comes through because I actually feel like there is so much potential with this topic. I just want to ask what's going to be the most beneficial for you all right now. And I'm totally open to doing more of this topic if we find that there's a need for it. I was guided to pull out my sacred power cards. Okay, so the card that flipped is the tree of life. And I want to see what comes with this because there's multiple energies that come forth with this. Okay, so one is that the deeper we go into the roots, into the darkness, into the shadows, the farther we can reach into the light. Okay. And the fact that the sun is shining through the beginning of the branches is kind of speaking to me about how when we face the things that make us uncomfortable, when we're in situations or circumstances that are reflecting to us maybe circumstances that we're not wanting to experience, it's an opportunity for us to go into the pockets and the energies of where we're uncomfortable and see what beliefs you have within yourself that may be holding that energy in place. It's kind of like those places where we still want to project or avoid or run or wall off. There's an opportunity to drop deeper internally into unconditional self love, okay, without judgment. So just noticing what might come up, because what's coming through is actually energies of that kind of core soul wound abandonment that we've experienced both within our own soul and our soul's experience, but also the DNA core wound. And then oftentimes in this current incarnation, we've experienced layers of those woundings in our life. This time, what I have found that usually kind of coincide with the other lives and our ancestral DNA. But I'm a firm believer that we chose those circumstances so that we could illuminate the shadows and bring them to light and learn the lessons that our soul has been working on for quite some time. Okay. So if you're finding yourself in the circumstances of not feeling that you're receiving reciprocity from your counterpart, or they're focused on another relationship, or you're focused on another relationship, I want to pull some on that. I want to pull some on that and let's see what. So, if there is another relationship involved in your connection, what can we know to support this process? Okay. Yes. So I want to start out real quick. This is definitely, to me, this card always signifies going deeper into the shadows. And then this Knight of Wands flew out across the table, if you guys didn't see that. So it's like it can feel uncomfortable facing these experiences, right? But once we transmute those and bring our own energy and essence into the discomfort, it supports us in igniting our true energy, our true passion, our true flame. And so, what I've experienced and what I'm guided to share or encourage you to do is when you find those uncomfortable feelings or self judgments or energies of unworthiness or overgiving come up in your system, that's where you drop into those feelings. You don't have to judge them, but you can bring your own love and essence into those places and spaces. This is the energies that are showing you where to bring your own love and your higher power and your higher energy to. Okay. And what this does is it obviously supports you. But remember, if this is your divine counterpart or twin flame, it's going to support the whole connection because the more that you love yourself, essentially is more of loving them. Okay. So when you are focused externally on what they're doing, you're actually scattering the energy in a lot of ways. But when you return that focus to finding the hurt parts of yourself, where they've triggered you, where the circumstances have triggered you, and you go in and you bring your own love and your power and your truth and your care to those wounds or darkness within you, the shadows, right? It actually allows your true light to have space to fully ignite, right? And the more you're in your true core soul essence, the more your frequency, your sound, your soul song is vibrating out around you and into the energies and into the dimensions. And so the things that are meant for you, the things that are of similar frequency and in alignment with you, will be able to align with your true energies, right? But if we're avoiding going into the discomfort, or we're running, or we're freezing, or we're hiding or dissociating, we're actually closing off our true essence. And so it's going to be a bit more difficult for what's meant for us to find us. Now, if you find yourself in that circumstance, it's all okay. We've all had dissociation and freezing and running and defense and protective mechanisms in our systems. It's how we survived. It's how the ancestors survived. So we're not judging it. We're acknowledging that the fact that it's coming up is an opportunity to reignite our true essence, which is going to support you in anything that you do. No matter what happens as you move forward on your path, the more of your true essence that you have available for you is going to support that process. And if you can look at it like the discomforts that are coming up or the blocks that you're seeing in the external world are a clue and a lesson to show you where to look so that you know what feels uncomfortable. Now you know where to drop that light and passion into. Okay. I hope this makes sense. I think it does. I think you guys will get what I'm saying. Okay, let's see what else we got. We're gonna do one more, at least. Whoa. Okay, you saw that. Okay, so interesting. It's the communication card, but you saw it flipped out on the floor and it turned upside down. So to me, this is speaking around blocks within communication. And it can be different layers of communication. Like you might even be talking in the physical world, but are you speaking all of your truth? Or are you just completely blocked in the physical world? But what is happening on the energetic levels of communication? Okay. There's a lot more happening in these connections than most of us are privy to. Because remember, ultimately, at the end of the day, your higher self is what's in control. That's what's guiding and leading you, whether you're realizing it or not. And sometimes, yes, we might block it out or think that people are blocking it out, but it's where we just want to pan out and allow ourselves the space and the grace to move in both directions so that this can come into clear, direct, truthful, honest, genuine communication. Okay, so I'm actually going to pull some cards around blocks to communication and unraveling and dissolving those. And of course, we're going to set the intention that through this process, we're dissolving those blocks as we speak and as we watch this video for those of you who would like to receive that support. Of course, this butterfly also signifies to me the high heart energy and that coming together of the heart and the throat essence. Let's see what comes with that as my voice is literally crackling. Justice flipped up. What's with this? Am I supposed to take this? I think I am. Okay. So, what I'm sensing is that, like we've talked about, wow, with this, as far as communication goes, what I'm seeing is both the masculine and feminine are in an integration process. Both of these energies, although they're slightly different, if you notice, they're both pulling in higher powers. They're both learning and reaching to learn and to integrate, and they're both trying to figure out how to stabilize this integration into the physical world. Okay. And with this justice card, this is speaking to me of also embracing the process of allowing yourself to continue to learn and to continue to embody the lessons that you're learning. And it came through yesterday in a session that you also make sure that you're giving yourself the space to drop in the results of what you're doing and noticing if there are any of those frozen or dissociated energies in your system. And how you're going to know is if a topic comes up that you want to avoid, or if you start to have a conversation around it, you start to ignore it, or you start to pull your energy in another direction. Okay. This can be signs of dissociation in the system, or if you're trying to pull in results and you're not able to quite receive them, this is often an indication that some of your energy is frozen or dissociated and the results are not able to come fully into the physical body. And so you can set that intention to ask to dissolve any of the frozen energy or to help it thaw so that you know which areas to drop your higher energy into. But this is speaking to me that there is justice happening within these recalibrations and that each situation is unique. And what I'm kind of sensing is that as these recalibrations become more physically embodied, that it's going to allow the communication to balance out. Okay. I feel like there is one other thing that wants to come with this. So let's see what we got. Wow, these cards are flying today. Okay, we have the animal kingdom in reverse as well. So this is fascinating. What do we got coming with this? To me, with all the animals and having it in reverse, what it's actually speaking to me about is like all of those different energies and aspects of who we are, parts of our personality, how the external world can teach us. The animals, of course, I love the animals and they play a part within it. But the animals that you're drawn to have those animal messages for you. So it's coming in. This is interesting because it's the bear and the bear in reverse. And now it's bringing me back to a message I did years ago around the bear being in hibernation energy, right? And the fact that it's in reverse, what's coming through is that, gosh, I'm really feeling this. It's like it's starting to thaw out where things were frozen, where the truth was frozen, where it was in reverse, where the voice was almost paralyzed, is what's coming through, is now beginning to wake up and thaw out. It feels very important for those of you that resonate with this and feel guided that if communication is silent within your connection, then go in and start to work deeper with your throat chakra. You might, okay, so I'm thinking of myself. Like, clearly, I come on here and I communicate every day, but it's coming to me right now that after this, I'm going to sit in some meditation and see what information I can gain around how I can open or use my voice in a new way, because I can feel it, even the way that my voice is shifting, that something new wants to come in. So that's coming through for you guys, that even if you are one who does voice yourself and use your communication, there's a new form of expression that's wanting to wake up within you. And as it wakes up, it's going to allow this new form of communication and integration and justice to come in. And as there's something about it that I'm just sensing energetically right now, that as we do this and allow ourselves to go through the process, I almost saw like vocal cords thawing. Like there's something in the part in the shared space that as we focus on it in our system, it's going to allow the thawing through the whole shared space as well. Okay. So you're just simply working within your own energies and essences to strengthen your voice and your communication and allowing yourself to thaw out and open up. There may be something that comes through that you didn't realize was there, but it's going to allow you to ignite your truth and your power and your love and your passion in a new way. And I do feel like these messages are all kind of interweaving. So you may even want to listen to this a few times in the context of how it's all working together, on top of the fact that I can feel that there's a thawing happening as we're going through this video. All right, loves? Okay. So with that, I'm going to pull one final card from the True Love deck just to end our, what can we expect as we move through these energies of allowing ourselves to thaw out any dissociation and opening up our voice in a new way. Two fell out. Oh, wow. Boundaries and connection. And you see the animals again. The fact that they fell out together, what it's telling me is like, in a lot of ways, we think of like, well, boundaries stop connection. But no, having healthy boundaries around what it is that we would like, the standards that we want, actually allows for the true connection to come to fruition. Okay. Because as we understand what it is that we want and we get clearer within ourselves around our alignment and our higher power and our higher truth, and we begin to become more fully who we actually are, and we become the version of us that can show up in a connection the way we want someone to show up in a connection with us, it actually begins to bring in those energy embodiments in the physical world. So, in truth, the focus of becoming who you want to have in your life is going to ultimately support your deeper connection. So if you're not experiencing things in the external world from a partner, that's actually a perfect clue of where to start showing up for yourself. Okay. This is the gift within all of these experiences. Okay. It's coming to me right now. So if your counterpart is in a connection with someone else, that means their focus is elsewhere, right? So where are you focusing outside of yourself? Where can you turn that focus back into yourself? Fill your own cup and show yourself, you and the universe, that you are literally embodying the version of yourself that is ready to receive this gorgeous connection that you've been in the process of working for. Okay, loves? So, whatever is not showing up in your external world, but you're wanting or craving or knowing that you're wanting to receive, provide that for yourself. That is your biggest clue. If it's not showing up in your physical world or it's showing the opposite in your physical world, that's the number one way you know how to start providing for yourself. All right, loves. Okay. And if it's something you want to provide to someone else, but there's no one there, perfect. Provide it for yourself. Okay. You pour all of that into you, you become that vibration, and then you naturally attract to you what it is that you want because you have now become that vibration. All right, loves. So it all interweaves with becoming that highest aligned version of ourselves, right? And in the process, it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? This isn't about you have to have everything perfect. We're in this process, but each time you show up for yourself, each time you align with embodying your true version, your highest self, your true power, your true love, you are sending a very powerful signal to the universe that this is what you're becoming. This is what you're aligning with. This is what you're embodying. This is what you have set boundaries around, what you want in your life. And it's all beautiful. Those boundaries and standards are informing you and the world around you about the type of connection that you want. If you want your counterpart to be free and clear of other connections and able to show up with you and make you a priority, then do that for yourself. Okay. Start making yourself a priority. Where can you satisfy those things within yourself now? Okay, loves, what a perfect day to do it. The day of love. Pour into you, regardless if you're in a relationship or not. Of course, share your connection and your time. But also, I encourage you to take some time today and every day, no matter what your relationship status is, to pour into your cup. Provide this deep, gorgeous love and care for yourself. All right, loves, we're going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed it. Of course, I'm going to drop in the description box my one-on-one sessions as well as the group. I will put it in the pinned comment as well. The group is restoring the sacred masculine and feminine essences, and it's come very clear that we're going to be doing a lot of this thawing out energy and supporting any places where the dissociation may be in the system from an energetic standpoint. So if you feel guided, of course, we would love to have you join us for that. And if you're not available to come in person, the recording will also be available. Again, I love you. Have a beautiful, gorgeous rest of your day. And as always, I would love to hear from you. Even if you just want to drop some hearts in the comments to rep the love energy. All right, loves, have a great day. Bye.